What up, y'all? What's good? What's good? Good morning. It is Monday morning after a another glorious weekend. I ain't gonna say too glorious. Y'all know what I'm gonna get to. Um, Green Bay not looking too swell, uh, losing to the Browns, but Browns defense is pretty fire though if you think about it. Through the first 3 weeks of the season, remember week one they held the Bengals down. They like barely lost like by a point. So but anyway, let's get some of this shit started. Hope everybody's doing well. Normally, I work third shift. I would have worked on a Sunday night, so I would be more alive this morning, but I didn't work last night, right? I had to take it off for take care of some business. And so I'm not as wide awake as I normally am on a Monday morning. Excuse me for that. Apologies. I'll try to still show the same energy that comes with this. But anyway, like I said, man, let me get this down. Yeah, that worked right there. Right, that worked right there. Like I said, man, another big weekend in football. A couple things, man. A lot of block kicks yesterday, including one that sort of sealed the fate for my Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers passes Brett Favre for number 4 all-time passing touchdowns with 509. Do not think that's it for Rodgers, because I think the next one is Peyton Manning, and it's like 530 something. 539 is what I believe it is. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has 30 more touchdowns in him this season, because this is probably going to be his last. So I don't know. He could go on a flurry. I think he only topped that mark a few times as a Packer when it comes to throwing like 39. Because he'd have to throw 30 more to like pass. Is it Peyton Manning or Phillip Rivers? I can't remember which one it is, but the next up is 539 on the touchdown list for passing touchdowns. So shouts out to Aaron Rodgers, passes Brett Favre, his old teammate, the old protege. CeeDee Lamb got hurt yesterday in the game. Dallas Cowboys got clapped up by the Bears, man. Shouts out Bears, put down some work. James Conner also, shouts out, got hurt. That was pretty gruesome. I only saw like this real fast clip of it. I was watching Red Zone, and they were like, they're not going to show a replay of this because it's really bad. And it looked bad from what I saw, like right off the rip, man. So 49ers continue to roll. Hey, man, 49ers, man, what Mac Jones is doing back there in time while Brock Purdy heals up and gets healthy. And other pieces of the Niners, they do have a lot of injuries, get healthy. They're keeping the ship right, still staying undefeated. So there's that. I like to bring up some stuff real quick. I always like to bring up some stuff, little fun stuff. That's good. Apologies for that. Hold up. This, and this. All right, let's get this up. First of all, you can see right here the 2026 first-time eligible NFL Hall of Fame players, right? It's crazy for me, being a football fan for as long as I have. I can't believe it's already been that long since Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers retired, bro. Like, I can't believe that it's already been like 5 years, man. So right here down the list, I think they put these dudes in gold because guarantee, right? Larry Fitzgerald, guaranteed. Drew Brees, guaranteed. Phillip Rivers, I would say, is guaranteed to jump up in there. First, let's see, Jason Witten, Frank Gore, Julian Edelman, Marquise Pouncey, LaShawn McCoy, Thomas Davis, Greg Olsen, Alex Smith, Des Bryant, Stephen Gostkowski, Geno Atkins, David DeCastro, Mike Pouncey, Sean Lee, Todd Gurley, and Jarrell Casey. Some of these players I don't know. I mean, I would like to see some of these other players in the Hall of Fame. I think Edelman was nice, right? I don't know if his career warrants like a Hall of Fame, like a gold jacket, man. I mean, I don't make such decisions, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, these are great players, man. Great players. I'll tell you something, man. You want to see your boy shed a tear? There's nothing better than watching videos of these players getting that knock on the door, that surprise, welcome to the Hall of Fame. There's nothing like it, man. To see a player like sort of go his whole career playing his lights out, playing as hard as can be, playing 1,000% great football, to work that hard, to spend that much time away from family, to diet right, to do all that stuff, and then they get that knock. There's nothing like watching that, man. I'm telling you, sports it hits me different, man. It hits me different. Tears shed for sure every single year. One of those players who gets that knock that they're going to the Hall of Fame, it's going to pull a tear from your boy, man. It's going to pull a tear. But anyway, again, Larry Fitzgerald, Drew Brees, probably in there. Phillip Rivers, I think. Jason Witten, hey, man. Up in there. Frank Gore for sure. And so we'll see what happens, man. 2026 first round eligible Hall of Fame players. Finally, Drew Brees, that is again, If you're like me and you've been watching football for a long time, it just doesn't seem like that many years have passed since Drew Brees was out there slanging that thing for the Saints. So here's that. Also, right here, sports most unbreakable records. I ran across this. Let's see, Jerry Rice, 22,895 career receiving yards. I don't know who's in second place. I can't quite remember who's in second place. I can't even remember how close they are. Wayne Gretzky, 1,963 career assists. At one time, they thought Wayne Gretzky's scoring record was out of the realms of catchability. So we've seen what happened with that last season. Cy Young, 749 complete games. Again, I pulled this, I found this, and I sent it to myself and sort of kind of forgot about it. I should have went and researched who's in second place with all of these things. Boston Celtics, 8 straight NBA titles, never happening again. Simone Biles, 19 World Gymnastics gold medals, probably never happening again. Cal Ripken, 2,632 consecutive games played. Man, the way injuries go around, yeah. Ricky Henderson, 1406 career stolen bases. UConn Huskies women's basketball, 111-game winning streak. Yeah, not happening. There's Stewie right there. Michael Phelps, 28 Olympic medals. Emmett Smith, 18,355 career rushing yards. A lot of these records is crazy records. Another thing real quick, the NFL QB carousel last 30 seasons. Obviously, this right here is going to be of interest to your boy because right here at the top, out of the last 30 seasons, the Green Bay Packers have had 3 starting quarterbacks. 3 in 30 years, bro. 1 QB every 10 years. Tier royalty strong. You got the Patriots, Cowboys, Giants, Lions. Obviously, with Tom Brady with the Patriots, you're going to see that 1 QB every 5 years. Dallas Cowboys, 6, 1 QB every 5 years. And you can see it goes on down. It dwindles. And you can see when you get down to the bottom teams, Cleveland Browns, 19, 1 QB every 1.6 years. Denver Broncos, 18, 1 QB every 1 year. So a lot of rotation in the NFL when it comes to QBs. Obviously, that's one of them. The big hates against us is having that. Didn't help us yesterday, though. Golly. Come on, Jordan. You're going to have to play better than that. Anyway, let's get into some college football. Hold on. Get this one up here. Get that back. So as again, Georgia had the bye week last week, along with, and I didn't realize this, okay? And I think I had seen this during the offseason when I was looking at the schedule, and sort of I had forgotten. But Alabama had a bye week this week too, man. Y'all cold-blooded, man. Which y'all know we got coming up this weekend, Alabama at Georgia, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday night. Your boy will be having conniption fits, heart attacks, and what have you, man. Whatever comes to the body as I watch that game. Oh, Georgia talking about doing the blackouts, man. I think they need to go ahead and do it. I think they just need to go ahead and quit being scared of it. If we get our asses whooped with the black uniforms on, we get our asses whooped. I know all Georgia fans are scared because I remember just as well as they do the last time we were ranked really high and had Alabama coming into Georgia and decided, let's go blackout with the blackout jerseys, which are nice, by the way. Georgia, which kind of aggravates me. I know there's a lot of tradition there, but we only have 3 jerseys. The white ones for away games, the red ones for home games, and when it comes to the alternate, the only one alternate we have is the blackout jerseys, and we don't wear them that often because, we got our ass kicked last time we wore them. So, but don't be scared. Just wear them. We get our ass kicked with them on Saturday night. We get our ass kicked with them on Saturday night. I, for one, think our chances are pretty fucking good. So, again, let's go back here. College football. Southeastern Louisiana, LSU, 56-10. LSU. 26-7, Miami over Florida. Man, Florida has some good spots in this game, dog. I watched this entire thing. Has some good spots. Miami, man. Carson Beck had a bad streak, I'm telling y'all. And I know I'm a Georgia fan, so I sound like a straight hater when it comes to Carson Beck. A lot of underthrown balls, a lot of bad passes. He threw a pick. Had a couple of good ones, though. I ain't going to take that away from him in that drive right there at the end to sort of put this thing away. But Florida, man, they just could not stop it, man. The running game, Miami, damn, dog. Excuse me. Oregon over Oregon State, obviously big blowout there. Rivalry game, 41-7. Florida State, I guess they got that little platypus trophy or whatever that thing was. Florida State 66-10 over Kent State. Texas 55-0 over Sam Houston. Indiana 63-10 over Illinois. Oklahoma 24-17 over Auburn. Oklahoma pulls that out there at the end. SEC game, man, 4-0 Oklahoma. They looking pretty tough right here. Ranked number 11th as it is right now. Ole Miss 45-10 over Tulane. Tennessee 56-24 over UAB. Texas Tech 34-10 over Utah. Georgia Tech 45-24 over Temple. Georgia Tech continues to roll, man. Continue to roll. Vanderbilt 70-21 over Georgia State. Vanderbilt 4-0, man. A lot of undefeated teams still out there in the SEC. Michigan, Nebraska. Raiola, hey, dude's playing his ass off, dude. Hey, it's good to see it. Michigan pulls this one out, though. They did have the at the end of the half, the Hail Mary, which he mossed some cats on that one. Dude was in the middle of like 5 Wolverines and caught that Hail Mary. So can't take nothing away from that. Missouri 29 over South Carolina 20. Notre Dame 56 as they get their first dub of the season. I know it feels good down there. Blasting Purdue. We'll see how that carries over into next week. And 45-31 USC over Michigan State. So that's a little bit of college right there. Like I said again, when it comes to Georgia, big game, big game. So take a little brief look at next weekend. This weekend coming up in college, Florida State, Virginia, right? TCU, Arizona State. There it is right there. The granddaddy game this Saturday night in Athens, 7:30 p.m. Put the women and children to bed, folks. Let's get it. Matter of fact, now let's make everybody stay up. Nobody go to bed until the game's over, right? You know my mantra. If the clock has not reached zero, shut the fuck up. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest. That's going to be a good game right there. A little test for Tech. USC, Illinois. I think, big time Clemson, man. Clemson, rough opening to the season for them cats, bro. Forgot to mention that going through. Rough opening for them. So we'll see where they end up at the end of the season. I mean, obviously, the same thing with Notre Dame here. They have Arkansas, but there's just not enough marquee things left on the schedule for them to sort of win that, right? And obviously, look, Clemson could still be trying to play for the ACC championship if they should just get in that type of position. So Utah State, Vanderbilt, Ohio State, Washington, LSU, Ole Miss. So that's just a couple of games, big college football games coming up this weekend. And obviously the biggest, I don't know, is game day going to be in Athens next weekend? Let's see who else is out here. Oregon, no. Or you know what? Matter of fact, I think Oregon, Penn State. Come on now. 17 versus 5, Alabama at Georgia, or Oregon versus Penn State, number 6 at number 3. So I like to see what game that's going to be this weekend. I'm pretty sure they've already put it out there, and I just hadn't seen it yet. So there is that. Take it down real quick. All right, that's some college for y'all right there. Pulled up a couple things again. Aaron Rodgers shouts out, passes Brett Favre for number 4 on the passing list, passing touchdowns all time with his 509th passing TD. I remember when Brett Favre broke the record, period, from Dan Marino. That shit was wild, man. It was in a game against Minnesota. Like, first drive of the game, Rodgers or Favre goes ahead and break that record. And then I remember this because there's a clip of right after he broke it, and he sits down on the bench next to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers goes, "Well, that didn't take too long." And it's pretty funny, little moment between the two. And now as Rodgers passes Favre, I think, we'll see what it is. Again, like I was saying, let's see if it shows right here who's next on this list. So yeah, Rodgers, and he also hit another quarterback, or he hit another touchdown pass to make it 510 for his career right now. Let's see. Does it say? No, let's see it. No, now he stands alone at sole possession number 4 all time, having supplanted his former Packers teammate. So it doesn't say who's next up. Oh yeah, here we go. Favre's been surpassed in the league chronicles by Hall of Famer Peyton Manning, who has 539 touchdown passes. Let's pull this up right here. 539 touchdown passes right here. That's going to be a little rough for Rodgers to get right there. That means he has to have 29 more this season to get there. Well, it's just not out of the realm. I've seen Rodgers do some crazy shit. They coming off a dub this week. There's a possibility, but and then 571 for Drew Brees, and then Tom Brady, obviously the GOAT with 649. So there's that right there. Shouts out to Rodgers. Like I said, a couple of injuries. CeeDee Lamb got his ankle rolled up on in a game against the Chicago Bears. Let's get this up here. And James Conner, man, shouts out. Game against the 49ers, Cardinals, 49ers. Gruesome injury. I only saw it for a split second. Like I said, I only saw it for a split second, but it did look like the leg was kind of bending a way that it's not supposed to bend. So there you have that one. When you see that, let's see. All right, let's roll through these things. Here goes the NFL scores for week 2 thus far. We got one more game left for week 3. That's the Dolphins, or not the Dolphins, but that's the Lions and Ravens tonight in Baltimore. This is a game I'm very much looking forward to this. Like, very much so. I think, look. The teams at the top of this thing right now, right? When defensively wise, the Ravens, the Bills, man, they give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of yards and a lot of points. I know the Bills sort of got it together as the Dolphins were kind of raining on their parade this past Monday night or Thursday night. And they sort of got it together, got everybody to sort of close in. Let's close this game out. And also, Tua did toss the ball to them late in that game to sort of seal it for them, right? Ravens, same thing, give up points. Obviously, what happened with the Browns, they shut the Browns down, which is something that we did for most part of the game. We'll get to that in a second. But this game right here, Lions-Ravens, this is going to be one of those, right? This is going to be one of those, man. So I can't wait to see that tonight. I gave you my preview a little bit early. I think, who did I pick on this one? I'm going to have to go back and look. We'll check that out in a second. I usually do game picks on Thursdays, but I need to see. I might have went with the Ravens. Wait, that might be the coin flip game for your boy right there. That might be that. No, it's too late. It's too late. This happened tonight. So we'll go back and see who I picked in just a second. Bills, Dolphins, like I said, Bills gave up a lot of points. The Dolphins kind of scored on these cats, man. And as you can see, let alone the game against the Jets last week when the Bills kind of dominated. You know, the Bills can be scored on, right? And the elite teams like the Ravens can put some points up on them. Again, you got Josh Allen. Again, Tua threw the ball to them, right to them. Perfect interception at the end toward the end of the game to sort of seal it for the Bills. But 31-21, Bills continue to roll 3-0. They was kind of high. They were ahead of us in the power rankings. I believe the Packers will fall some spots after what happened. The Panthers, Falcons, what happened? I picked the Falcons this week, man, because I thought they were looking good. The game against Minnesota last week. Is Minnesota? Well, I mean, then look what they came out and did against the Bengals today, right? Or yesterday. Minnesota comes out there and claps the cheeks off the Bengals. Obviously, you know, the Bengals had issues at defense, and you know, Joe Burrow is not playing. He's injured. But they still got some sacks in there last week. Is I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of things this thus far 3 weeks into the season. The Falcons get bludgeoned. A couple of picks from Michael Penix. Excuse me. Let me get a quick spit. A couple of picks from Michael Penix. One of them a very short pick 6 that they ran back. Bryce Young played well. And look, this is the division game. Honestly, I picked the Falcons because, you know, the Panthers hadn't played too well this season. I thought the Falcons were on the uptick. This is not surprising. The Falcons laying a goose egg is surprising, but the outcome is not. Division games are always weird. That's just how it is, especially in this division where, you know, you've had the Buccaneers win it a few times in the past years, but that's just how they play each other. All right. Next game, let's get to it. Browns, Packers. Packers lose 13-10 to Cleveland. Obviously, I just talked about block kicks around the league yesterday, and there was several of them. This is where you're going to see one of those major ones. Look, I've been saying this since week 1, since the first game of the season against the Lions. And although the stats don't show it, I've been saying Jordan Love has 2 picks this season. Up until this game, I said Jordan Love got 2 picks. I ain't naive enough to forget those 2 picks against the Lions. Like literally, one of them was a literal dropped interception that fell right in dude's breadbasket, and the other one was a pick six that got called back by penalty. So as far as I'm concerned, as a Packers fan, and I'll stand on this, Jordan Love now has 3 picks on the season. I'm still counting those 2 for the first game. I don't care, because that was a moment that is kind of glazed over when it comes to Packers fans in general with their record and how they came into week 3 because of how good they've been playing defensively and how otherwise unblemished Jordan Love has been. But he has a propensity to do it. He has the propensity to do it, and he sure enough did it again. That was one of the worst picks I've ever seen, man. You can't throw that ball, man. Dude, y'all are in a position where just put this game away. The defense plays stellar again. Stellar defense. Couple sacks in there, right? Couple lot of pressures in there. The defense played well. Defense played well. The Browns defense, though, they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. I got it. The Ravens kind of shredded them up last week, but the Browns, look what happened in week 1. Obviously, when you talk about the Bengals, you have to sort of take that with a grain of salt now after 3 games have been played. And with or without Joe Burrow, they've kind of struggled offensively. But the Browns got a good defense. And I think you got a team coming in like the Packers. The Browns don't have a dub yet. And, coaching has a lot to do with that. Don't let these motherfuckers come into our house and reign supreme. They've been the talk of the town. So far in the NFL season, don't let the Packers come in here with that nonsense. They did come in there. Nice plays. I mean, Jordan Love drove them down the field a couple times. The pick, though, we can't have that pick. And then obviously, 3 seconds left on the clock to put the game, just to go ahead and put the game away with a field goal. Gets blocked. Or what? No, there's more than 3 seconds on the clock. But field goal gets blocked. Recovered by Cleveland. And then a couple of nice passes from Joe Flacco to get them into position. Obviously, a little controversy on the little touch there when it comes to the ref spotting the ball. Now, we saw that. I ain't going to make no excuses, though. We lost this game. And again, like Michael Parsons said, sometimes you just shit the bed. And that's what the Packers did. So, I think we needed something humbling. And this was the best possible humblement. Next Sunday night, this is one of the weekends I circled before the season started as far as for me when it comes to football infamy and how I handle watching games, right? Saturday night, Georgia, Alabama. Alabama coming to Georgia. And then Sunday night, Green Bay Packers travel to Jerry World. We travel to Dallas, playing the Dallas Cowboys. Sunday night football, right? Revenge game, is it? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the Packers fall. Disappointing loss to say the least, especially when you're sitting there with the chance to kick a field goal. Good field goal kicker, but great special teams play by Cleveland. They just wanted it more than we did. And I think this was a humbling experience, and I hope that locker room is looking at each other like, yo, we ain't won shit yet. That's exactly what Xavier McKinney was saying last week when he said 2-0 teams, I've seen them shit the bed before. And that's what the Packers did. That's what the Packers did, man. Defense still played well. Offense, you got to do better than that. And I got it. Cleveland's defense was on one yesterday. They do have a good defense. But that pick by Jordan Love, man, can't happen. Not in that position, not in that spot, not in that part of the game. So, anyway. Let's move on. Texans, Jaguars. Texans looking rough, y'all. Texans looking rough. Jaguars 2-1, obviously, in that division that they play in. We'll see where that ends up. But the Texans, I think this is the more bigger headline out of that game right there. They've looked rough this season. They looked rough. Looked like they need that offensive line that they gave away in the offseason. Bengals, Vikings. This was not a game. The Vikings took off from the start. Had some pick sixes. Had a lot of turnovers. Carson Wentz was dealing that thing in the absence of J.J. McCarthy. So, I think this was a perfect get-back game for the Vikings. After what happened last week, the poor play by J.J. McCarthy, and then he gets the high ankle sprain, and then, they had Tampa Bay come in there and handle them. So 48-10, Vikings, Bengals, man, gonna be rough for y'all. That 2-0 start is probably gonna help y'all in the. If it does, that's gonna be important, right? Steelers, Patriots. Aaron Rodgers, like I said, came out there and threw his 509th and 510th TD of his career. placing him firmly in the number 4 spot. I think he'll be sitting there for a while. Patriots, Drake May has some good balls. Patriots gave up the ball like 6 times or something, bro. I've seen a lot of fumbles. I've seen a lot. I don't know what they're going to do turnover-wise, but only losing the game by 7 points considering they had like 6 turnovers, I think that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive if you ask me, right? But still, Steelers pulled this one out 21-14. 33-26 Rams lose to the Eagles, man. Eagles out here tops, man. I gotta give credit where credit is due, man. Best team in the league right now. I know somebody, what about Buffalo? What about my Bills? The Eagles, the way they won that game yesterday, I picked the Rams. I thought the Rams was going to go in there and clap them. And for 3 quarters, that's exactly what we saw, was the Rams putting in work. Stafford, though, I think one of the big excuse me. As we look at how the score, they lost by 8 points. I think the big difference in the game was Stafford, man. Stafford was off target just a bit. Go back and look at the game film. If you were watching that game, if you're a Rams fan, I'm sure you realize Stafford was off target a bit. And you know who wasn't off target? Jalen Hurts. They talk about they ain't had no passing touchdowns yet this season. Jalen Hurts. They talking about they don't throw the ball downfield enough. They don't have, as many explosive plays downfield. They don't get the receivers involved enough. Jalen Hurts. They came out there and did something. This game right here was a statement, man. Eagles gonna be rough. Already knew, we got a game coming up against the Eagles. I think it's on Monday Night Football in a month or so. I knew that shit was gonna be rough. But this right here, what they showed yesterday, the Rams was up on these cats, man. It was like 27-6 or some shit like that, man. The Rams was up. Even with Stafford being a little off, there was a couple of passes to Devontae. That first pick that Stafford threw was off target. I mean, then we saw Stafford throw the ball like 58 yards in the air for a dime to Devontae. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Eagles still got away with one. But I don't think that's an excuse. That doesn't change what happened in the game yesterday. 33-26 Eagles. Oh, man, they look good. Eagles look good, man. All that cockiness and all that swag that they carried to the locker room after the game is well-deserved. You don't come out in the game right here where you're getting absolutely dominated and say, I guess we can't run. We'll just throw that thing up there. A.J. Brown had a nice game. So, yeah, 29-27 Bucks. Now, I talked about the Bucks on Thursday's show. The Buccaneers, bruh. The Buccaneers, man. The Eagles in the NFC right now. Baker Mayfield, 3 come-from-behind victories. 3 game-winning drives in 3 games this season. Baker might be in that MVP race, bro. Baker Mayfield looking like an MVP right now. I can't even hate. They pulled that thing out. Obviously, the Jets block a kick as well. Yeah, remember, before I jump off this game, I don't know how that slipped my mind, that amazing play at the end. The big boy from Georgia running that thing downfield going like 1,000 miles per hour. That's an insane play. With the Rams trying to put that thing away. This is who was about to put that thing away with 3 seconds left. 44-yard field goal blocked, picked up by the Eagles and ran back. So there you go. And then another block, right? Another block. You saw the Jets coach, Raheem Morris, on the sideline doing a little oopsie-coopsie boogie or whatever the fuck you want to call that dance. I'm like, damn. But you left Baker Mayfield too much time on the clock. Therefore, you lost 29-27. The Colts, Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes. I prefer the name Indiana Jones because I'm an Indiana Jones fan. You see the fedora right there. Shouts out to my homie Joey for getting that for me. Colts Titans, man. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes out here balling. Nice passes from him all game. The Titans, obviously, some struggles. Cam Ward throws a pick 6 very, very early in that game. So, Colts, man, 3-0 in a division that is they're going to win that division. They keep going like this. Excuse me, y'all. That division is won. Raiders, Commanders. I know if V was here today, he would clown on his team for their performance. And he would also say Marcus Mariota, bruh. Marcus Mariota starting in place of Jaden Daniels with the high ankle sprain. 41-24, man. Game almost completely dominated by the Commanders, bro. Can't say nothing more than that. Dan Quinn gets knocked down on the sideline by Mariota, bleeding. You saw the picture. That's going to be looked at and be one of the shining things we see this entire NFL season. Commanders, Raiders, 41-24. Broncos, Chargers, man. Chargers taking a firm grip on the AFC West. Broncos look a little shaky, man. Not a nice place from Bo Nix. It's a little off place from Bo Nix. The Chargers come out there and win, 23-20. Chiefs finally got their first dub, though, so we'll see. All right, Saints, Seahawks. Look, this game was clapped from the beginning. 44-13 Seahawks. No matter what the Seahawks were doing, Sam Darnold was just throwing dimes all over the field. This game was done from the start. 44-13. Saints really struggling. Kellen Moore's first year, rookie head coach, if you will. And this is it's tough to coach in this league, man. Tough to coach in this league, especially Spencer Rattler's your QB and he's playing a little shaky, to say the least. Cowboys, Bears. Bears get their first dub of the season. Look, we saw it last week, man. The best, I think, again, some mirages were thrown up. The first week of the season, the Cowboys played the Eagles to open the season on Thursday Night Football. They played the Eagles tough, lose by like 4 points. Great game by the Cowboys. Defense was there. But the next week, they give up all these points to the New York Football Giants. And Russell Wilson was throwing dimes. Neighbors caught 2 long touchdowns. We saw that game. We saw the highlights from that game. We saw how big of a score. Cowboys come back in the end. Russell Wilson throws the pick. They win. So we knew that the Cowboys defense had some holes. But what we thought was the holes were in the Bears defense. And let's not make no mistakes about it. The Bears, they do have some holes in defense, but they stepped it up this game. They stepped it up against the Cowboys, man. They heard all that talk this week about how, Dak's playing so well, he's going to put points up on this Bears defense. Well, the Bears said, shoot, last time I looked, Russ Wilson was putting points up on y'all last week. We're going to do the same thing. And the tables got flipped. Bears, Caleb Williams played phenomenal. A lot of nice open passes. Dave Johnson gets his first win as a head coach of the Chicago Bears. Nice scene in the locker room after the game. And, hey, man, what happens, man. So we got the Cowboys and us both coming off of a loss this week in Dallas Sunday night. Let's keep it moving. Cardinals, 49ers, like I said, shouts out James Conner. Pretty bad injury to the ankle, broke his leg. I'm pretty sure I only saw a little glimpse of it, and it didn't look good. Wasn't trying to be out here seeing it again because I just don't, a little squeamish in the stomach when it comes to that kind of shit. 49ers continue to do it, though. They continue to move this thing, continue to get dubs with Brock Purdy missing games, with George Kittle on the IR. A couple of other injuries there. Christian McCaffrey continues to impress when needed, showing up in certain spots in the game when they need him. So the 49ers, 16-15 over the Cardinals. A lot of close games. But Matt Jones is doing it for him, man. Matt Jones is holding the ship correctly, right? Steering the ship in the right direction until they get some of these pieces back. So division game, too. Division game. The Cardinals, I thought they was going to win this game because a lot of injuries on the 49ers side, and the Cardinals have been playing well. But, hey, man. The strong survive. Chiefs, Giants. That was a Sunday night game. Chiefs pull it out 22-9. I don't know how much louder it can get in New York when it comes to Jackson Dart replacing Russell Wilson. Obviously, Russell Wilson played very well last week. We've all talked about that and the dimes he was throwing and all of that kind of stuff. But again, what we've seen is that Dallas's defense there's a lot of chances for penetration when it comes to Dallas's defense. They showed that last week against these Giants. They showed that again yesterday against the Chicago Bears. Shouts out, though. Game playing right. Dallas's defense can be had. And they played well week 1. I was like, yo, I know they're going to be missing Michael Parsons. But, man, they might be all right. Rough, man. Rough goings of it. Didn't really want to listen to what Jerry Jones said after the game. I saw that little interview. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm getting tired of listening to you, blow smoke up everybody's ass about what Y'all missing Michael Parsons. It just is the way it is. So Chiefs Giants. Chiefs needed this dub. I picked the Chiefs to win this game because I thought they were in desperation mode. They they really needed this victory, especially with the Chargers going 3-0, not just record-wise, but division-wise. So they were getting behind there. And they pulled this one out. A couple nice plays, couple nice catches. Did see a little skirmishes on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Travis Kelce and the coach, Coach Andy Reid. I think Reid called a good game, to get the offense, away from like directly trying to attack that Giants front four. So yeah, man. Chiefs Giants, man. Good game. Good game. All right, so Monday night preview, like I said, tonight's game, Lions, Ravens. I expect this game to be absolutely incredible. I don't expect a lot of defense at all. I kind of see this game going the same way the opener between the Sunday night opener between the Ravens and the Bills. That's what I kind of expect to see from this game. A lot of points scored, not too much defense. Because you got two good offensive teams, and the Ravens, have shown, I guess, which you know what, Detroit's defense, going through two games. I mean, obviously the opener against the Bears, they had something to prove right then. That was going to go their way regardless. The Packers did put up a few points on them, but man, that offense plays the way it did last week against the Bears, and that defense plays pretty decent. You might, if you can hold them, which again, a tall task because the Ravens are absolutely incredible on offense. A few teams that way, so we'll look and see. We'll pay attention to that game again tonight. Lions, Ravens, Monday Night Football, and then we'll check the power rankings before Thursday morning show as we try to sort of see how far the Packers are going to fall. Rough game yesterday against Cleveland. Shouts out though, Cleveland, man, defense. You did what you had to do. Jordan Love served y'all up something, and yeah, man. Appreciate everybody who watched. Appreciate everybody who tuned in, and we'll see you guys Thursday morning. This has been Instant Replay. This is the Daily Show, man, and you guys take it easy. Peace.